Welcome, junior historians, to this explainer. Today, we're going to equip you with the exact tools you need to completely crush your upcoming New Empires and Faiths mini project. I'm incredibly excited to guide you through this because we're blending pure historical inquiry with some core analytical skills that'll make your historical arguments absolutely rock solid. By the time we wrap up here, you're going to be ready to look at ancient history like a true detective. So let's get our gear ready and jump right in. Okay, let's take a super quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll be hitting the big historical question, essential ancient history vocabulary, comparing empires and faiths, causes, effects, and evidence, a quick skill check to test yourselves, and finally, your mini project takeaway. Section 1, the big historical question. So, every great historian starts with a massive, overarching question. It's basically the compass that frames their entire investigation and gives a real purpose to their research. For us, it's this. How do new beliefs and empires change societies? This is the essential question you're going to investigate by looking at how ideas and power shifted in ancient times. We aren't just memorizing random dates and names here. We're trying to figure out how monumental shifts in power and profound new ways of thinking fundamentally rewired the way human beings lived, traded, and governed themselves. Now, to tackle that massive question, your project is going to require you to actively do 3 specific things using your historical thinking skills. First, you need to analyze empire expansion. How exactly did these empires grow their borders and actually maintain control? Second, track cultural exchange. What really happened when different groups of people finally bumped into each other? And third, connect ancient legacies to later history. We want to see that through line, the connection from the ancient past all the way to the societies that followed. Section 2, essential ancient history vocabulary. First up, belief systems. Think of a belief system as a massive, structured framework, like early Christianity or the Islamic faith, that literally shapes entire cultures. These aren't just isolated, random thoughts. They're comprehensive ways of viewing the universe. They provide moral codes, social rules, and a shared sense of identity for millions of people across expanding territories. And when those belief systems spread, well, that leads straight to our next term, cultural transformation. This happens when societies adopt new ideas or practices from one another. You see, when a new belief system arrives, or an empire completely takes over a new region, the local culture doesn't just freeze in place. It adopts, it adapts, and it transforms. It merges the old with the new to create something entirely different in their art, their laws, and their daily life. Section 3. Comparing empires and faiths. For your mini project, you're going to be comparing groups, like looking at the similarities and differences between early Christianity and the Islamic civilization. You aren't just going to summarize them separately. Nope, you're actively putting their foundational beliefs, their expansion methods, and their cultural impacts side by side to figure out exactly where they mirror each other and where they take completely different paths. Now, what's really fascinating is how we can break down hundreds of years of complex history into neat, organized data points. Using a comparison matrix is a totally game-changing way to organize your thoughts and see those historical connections at a single glance. Just look at the expansion row, for example. You've got missionaries moving along established Roman networks compared to the rapid spread of ideas along the trade routes of brand new empires. And looking at cultural impact, both influenced architecture heavily, for sure, but you see a specific surge in science and math in the Islamic civilization, while Christianity deeply influenced European laws. A matrix like this is pretty much your blueprint for a perfect project. Section 4, causes, effects, and evidence. Check out this literal chain reaction of cause and effect. Step 1, an empire expands its borders, right? This creates a massive, unified, and relatively safe territory. Because it's safe, step 2 hits. New trade routes open up, and that directly triggers step 3. Cultural exchange happens. Merchants aren't just out there trading silk and spices, they're trading languages, technologies, and those huge belief systems we were just talking about. It's like a giant domino effect of history. But wait, how do we actually prove that this chain of events went down? To prove these historical causes and effects, you have to use evidence. And that starts with primary sources created by the people who actually lived through it. A primary source is the raw material of history, folks. It's the diary entry of that merchant on the trade route, it's the original treaty signed by an emperor, or maybe it's a coin minted in a newly conquered city. So here is the crucial point. the golden rule of historical investigation. As a historian, you absolutely must support your claims with direct textual evidence. You can't just guess or offer a general opinion. If you claim that an empire's expansion caused a cultural transformation, you've got to cite this specific primary source text that proves it, and then explain both what it says directly and what we can infer or figure out from it. Section 5, Skill Check. Let's test what you know. Okay, take a quick second and really think about this one. If you're a historian and you need a first-hand account of an empire expanding its borders into new territory, what exact kind of source are you hunting for? If you said primary source, you hit the nail right on the head. And this is exactly what you'll be using to back up your claims in your project. You'd be digging around for ancient letters from generals, original maps drawn by the conquerors, or physical artifacts left behind at a specific battle site. That right there is your undeniable proof. Section 6, your mini project takeaway. Keep this golden rule front and center for your project, and honestly, for all of social studies. No matter what groups you're comparing or what historical cause you're trying to prove, always, always back it up with solid evidence. Be a historical detective. Don't just tell me what happened, prove to me that it happened, using your primary sources. As you jump into your investigation, I want to leave you with this final overarching question. How do the ancient legacies of these empires and faiths continue to shape your modern world today? You know, history isn't just some story about people who lived a long time ago. It's literally the blueprint of our present. Think about the laws, the architecture, the sciences, and the belief systems we navigate every single day that were born during these ancient times. Good luck with your mini project, junior historians. Dive into those sources, and I really can't wait to see the incredible evidence-based arguments you're going to build.